Yes, is Steve Kenyon available?
Let me see, hold on.
Thank you. Yeah. Usually if I don't get through one, I gotta go this way. Because they ignore my calls.
Sorry. Steve Kenyon is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Mr. Kenyon, this is James Clark. I'm calling in regards to, again, in regards to something that I received supposedly from the Idaho Supreme Court Friday, in regards to my motion that was denied. I think there was some confusion because the documents that you viewed were not documents that I had in my motion for stay of all proceedings. On the day that I came to discuss the name that was on the front of the respondent's brief of Thomas P. Baskin, chairman, which was on the front of the defendant respondent's brief. So I kind of need to discuss this with you. If you can give me a call back at 360-258-1619, I appreciate it. Thank you.
He can ignore you too. He's supposed to ignore you.
Well, I know. So 1208. So what I'm going to do now is call Miss Rachel O'Barr, 1208. Let's see here, 344-5800. Yeah, but sweetheart, with all these documents that are altered and everything else, and this right here alone, this document right here alone, I'm not even sure who it came from.
I know, but I'm just seeing.
But I can't believe what that letter is, man. I have a right to look into my, into my, my shit. They're the ones that are altering them.
I know
I want questions. I want answers. All right, there you are.
I just don't want to get in trouble.
I'm not getting in trouble.
Okay, you didn't get.
Well, it says I'm going to be referenced to some voicemail. I don't know.
No.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get a hold of Miss Rachel O'Barr.
Oh, hey, James, hold on a moment.
Thank you. Well, I think I'm going to be put to a recording. They must be getting it set up and ready.
This is Rachel.
Yes, Miss O'Barr. Hey, I'm calling in regards to what I received from you in regards to the I guess I was denied the stay of all proceedings.
Yes, sir.
I was.
Well, not denied. They granted you an extension, but there is no more stay.
Well, from what I'm understanding here, supposedly what I got from Steve is I got a letter, stating that let's see here, the motion for stay, response for motion for stay, proceeding or not. What I'm reading here is something that was sent to me on February the 11th of 2013. This court issued an order wherein appellant James W. Clark was allowed the filing of an overleaf brief. On February 19th of 2013, email with documents attached, motion for stay of all proceedings, etc., was received from the appellant James W. Clark. However, the appellant James W. Clark was not given permission to email any documents to this court for filing. Therefore, these items were placed in the court file without further action. 3. A response to the motion for stay of all proceedings and affidavit of Rachel M.O. Barr in support of response to motions for stay of all proceedings and were filed by counsel for respondents on February 20th of 2013. Therefore, good cause appearing, it hereby is ordered that respondents' response to motion for stay of all proceedings and affidavit of Rachel O. Barr in support of the reason appellant James Clark did not file a original plus 6 copies of the documents sent to this court via email on February 19th of 2013. It further is ordered that in the event appellant James W. Clark properly files with this court an original plus 6 copies of the motion for stay of all proceedings, etc., the response to motion for stay of all proceedings and affidavit of Rachel M.O. Barr in support of response to motion for stay of all proceedings shall be reconsidered by this court without the filing of such response. It further is ordered that the due date for the filing of appellant's reply brief shall remain the same. But then again, I received on February 26th of 2013 from the court or somebody, February 20, let's see here, entered order that respondent's motion for stay of all proceedings is mute for the reason appellant did not file an original plus 6 copies of the documents sent to the court via email on 2/19 of 2013. The due date for the filing of appellant's reply brief remains as previously set for 3/16 of 2012. But you see what had happened, Ms. O'Barr, is that you see what you did is you did file a response in regards to the 2012 filing of your affidavit in support to deny the appellant response. The affidavit of here it is, right here. Your February 20th filing in regards to my motion that I had emailed. I guess the Court of Appeal or somebody didn't get my originals that I sent. So, and that was in regards to the one that I sent and had notarized, well, that I sent on around the 5th day of February. And the February 20th response is the affidavit of Rachel O'Barr in support of response to appellant's motion for stay of all proceedings. Now, what you did is in that copy, you did reference to all of everything that I did have in there, which was, the altered document where, it was whited out and everything, and then what you did, but then I do receive this from Steve or someone, because I got it off my email address, subject 40016, the claimant versus the estate insurance fund. Now that was deemed mute by this filing by Mr. Steve Kenyon. And so what you did, so then I get this in the mail also. Friday, I get this in the mail. I mean, in the email. I haven't received nothing in the mail yet. Here. Yeah, let me read this one. On February the 11th of 2012, this court issued an order wherein appellant James W. Clark was allowed the filing of an overly brief. That's for this, for the one section there. And then the second section, it says on February 19th of 2013, an email with the documents attached, reference, motion for stay of all proceedings, etc., was received from the appellant James W. Clark. However, appellant James W. Clark was not given permission to email any documents to this court for filing. Therefore, these items were placed in the court file without further action. Now, my understanding under the appellate rule, Ms. O'Barr, is if I made an effort in the filing and it was clearly stated, then that document should have been filed in the manner that I had filed it, because I am ignorant to the way that some of this works. And since I have filed a document through that way before, I took it as that's how I can do it. And but I have also sent in copies, and this wasn't my first time doing this either, but this is the first time I've ever been responded to in this matter, because I have filed stuff directly through them, but I am being told off and on too that I can't do that. But I don't understand that either, because also in the appellant rule, it also states that electronic filings are acceptable. And then in number 3 here, it says a response to motion for stay of all proceedings, an affidavit of Rachel M. O'Barr in support of, here it is, in number 3. A response to motion for stay of all proceedings, an affidavit of Rachel M. O'Barr in support of response to motion for stay of all proceedings, and were filed by the counsel for respondents on February 20th of 2013. Therefore, good cause appearing. It hereby is ordered that the respondents, and that would be you guys, respondents' response to motion for stay of all proceedings, an affidavit of Miss Rachel O'Barr in support of the reason appellant James W. Clark did not file an original plus 6 copies of the documents sent to this court via email on February 19th of 2013. It is further ordered that in the event appellant James W. Clark properly files to this court an original plus 6 copies of the motion for stay of all proceedings, etc., the response to motion for stay of all proceedings and affidavit of Rachel. Hey, what? Well, what it comes down to, Miss O'Barr, and then what you do is you file this one, which, since those were deemed mute, what you tried to do is then you turned around and you filed another affidavit of Rachel O'Barr, because you stated in this affidavit that those records that I had sent to you that nobody got, so they were deemed mute. So what I did, Miss O'Barr, isn't it a fact that I redid it and I just sent another one, but it wasn't the same ones. And for what I was denied, for wasn't even the reason of in my brief, because when me and my lady went over there to ask questions in regards to the of your response to your brief and the names that were on the front of it that had nothing to do with my filing of my motion for stay of all proceedings. And I'm trying to get a hold of Steve Kenyon in regards to this, but he's not answering my calls. But now, those 2 documents of the signed medical releases, those were just documents that I was standing there trying to ask Mr. Kenyon and the court, how can I get all this stuff done and put into the records? And that's when he seen those 2 documents, and that was one of the ones that I showed him. And he took those. Okay, well, he took them and he said he's going to look into something. But again, those did not have anything to do with the filing that I did on February the 5th of 2013. So to me, those are the reasons why I was denied my motion for stay of all proceeding, and not for what I did file on the 27th, which were totally different documents than the original ones, because you responded to this brief, and the other one you're saying you didn't have them in the records, but the ones that I sent, they were also altered, and the 2 other documents were totally different documents, which were in regards to in regards to the bulk rehab, where Sandy Baskin and Mr. Darrell Holloway, how their names are on the same document, and you did respond to that in the second one of March 7th. Now, how can that be, Miss O'Barr? I'm going to tell you something. Go ahead.
We didn't realize you had not filed the file.
I know it, but that's what I mean. Those records were deemed mute. Those were deemed mute.
It's moot, not mute.
Well, MOOT, whatever it is, because my understanding.
You filed your first motion to stay.
And those were deemed.
You filed a response. Then the court said it was moot because you didn't file it right, so that's fine. You filed it.
Oh, okay. So that means the stuff that you filed.
The second one.
So that means the documents that you filed in regards to the one that I did fifth, because nobody received a copy of the originals, because I never did send anything in regards to that. What I did is saying
that ours was responding to a motion that was never filed.
That's right. So that means and the way that it was written to me by the court, and this is from Steve, is that that those records and what were in regards to those are deemed mute, because and since that filing of the 20th was in regards to those documents, that is deemed mute because y'all didn't get no copy of them. Then why are you trying to throw it in here? Because if this is something that I have in my possession.
To your second filing, it had 4 different documents, and that's what they have ruled on.
Well, Ms. O'Barr, yeah, but you see, when I filed my motion, when I filed the motion that with the documents that I sent to the Supreme Court and this motion of stay, because the other ones didn't get, so I wasn't going to mess with those because I didn't, hey, if they're out there somewhere then and I don't know where they're at, well, I'm not going to file the same things because, I'm not going to. So what I did, isn't it true, Miss O'Barr? Miss O'Barr. That's right. And isn't it right that those 4 documents were totally different documents than what was filed in the first ones? Yes, because this one was in regards to Mr. Lynn Luker, and that altered document in the same manner that you're trying to say that were done after August 1st. Well, this document that I sent, Miss O'Barr, isn't it true that it's in regards to the June of Mr. Lynn Luker, and the other 2 documents are in relation to the voc rehab and not the 44 chapter whatever? Yes, Miss O'Barr, that's right. They are totally different. They are totally different, Miss O'Barr.
And they have not granted it, but they have granted you an extension.
Well, I'm going to tell you that this one that I've got in my possession is kind of funky looking, because down on the bottom there were, if you see where, it's on the 26th or something. Yeah. Well, no, it says the 22nd. Well, see, it's been marked over, Miss O'Barr, the 22nd of a pen. Now, and this does have a reference number, but, just like the, like the one that I had to respond to that don't have a reference number. It's kind of funny, how I get things that are filed that's already has agencies' numbers on them. But you see, Miss O'Barr, this is, I don't even know if I can even wait. And then when you send me back a copy of the ones that of my filing, because I'm not real sure, because what you did is you did get a copy of the filing that I did file, but I'm going to talk to Steve about me filing, because, you guys have taken it before, but all of a sudden this one you're not allowing it to happen. So, but it almost looks like you guys were after that August 31st thing, and because of the 5th day, and this is saying that my due date is on the 5th of next month. Well, I'm not really comprehending that.
The 5th, the 6th. I don't have it in front of me.
Well, I do have it in front of me, Miss O'Barr, and it is due, and it is due. It is due on the. Here it says the response. Let's see here. It says the reply brief. Oh, this is the way it's worded to me. It hereby is ordered that the appellant James W. Clark motion for stay of all proceedings be and hereby is denied, and that the due date for filing appellant's reply brief shall be reset, and appellant's James W. Clark reply brief shall be filed with this court on or before 14 days of the date of this order. Now, if I go back to the of the reply brief shall be filed with this court on or before the 14th day of the day of this order, dated this 22nd day of March of 2013. But that 22nd, I'm a little I'm eerie on it, but 14 days. So does that mean that my 14 days since I got this Friday by the court, supposedly by Steve, dated this 25th day of February of 2013, does that start the next day?
It starts on the 22nd. So day 1 is the 22nd.
No. Wait a minute. In the appellant rules, when you're in the filing area, that if you get it on a Friday, it doesn't start on the day that you get it. It starts the following day.
The first day would be the 23rd.
Okay.
The next day would be the 24th, so the 14th day would be April 5th.
Okay. But you see, if I got it Friday and it don't start, because it doesn't start on the day that it was filed. It starts the following day. So the following day would have been on a weekend. So that would have been Saturday. So that means that I would have, so mine doesn't start until today, the 14 days.
No. If it's 10 days or less, you don't count weekends. But if it's more than 10 days, in this case it's 14 days, then you have to count the weekends. So it's due on the 5th.
Well, I'm gonna see what I can do on it. But I don't like the looks of these documents, and if it's a fact that Steve used those documents in regards to what he just took from us while we were there in town here a couple of weeks ago and looked into, then that was just something that he decided to do. I'm still waiting myself personally for a response to what I had put in my brief motion, my motion and my affidavit for stay of all proceedings of the ones that, in regards to Lynn Luker's filing, that, that is altered in the same manner that the Title 44 chapter, whatever it was, is also done. And also the Social Security one. So, you see, which is also done prior to August 1st. I don't know if I'll be waiting until the 1st, Miss O'Barr, because I want some answers here, and I'm not going to get them over the phone. Because these documents that you sent back to me, making it look like that y'all received these documents in the mail, but I know you started to alter her.
Okay.
Her oath, though.
Questions about your filing.
Okay. Is this then this court and then this document in relation to the order docket was done by the Steve, because it says defendant respondents, and then it starts off in the on February the 11th. Well, to me that sounds like something that you all would be writing, not the Supreme Court. And also, just like the one with the reference number 13123. Well, I'm asking you a question in regards to this document, Miss O'Barr. I mean, it's a file.
Then you need to write it down. It's too hard to follow.
It's this one right here that I'm showing you on the video, Miss O'Barr.
I'm going to go and I've already written you and said please express your question.
Well, Miss O'Barr, you're altering documents again, and I believe that I think I need to come over and be heard right now, because I'm not going to allow you guys to do this to me or Steve, because I got to. I don't know if Steve knows that this is done, but I'm going to find out here in about 30 seconds.